Hello, my name is Jerri Bandt with the Avaya Serviceability Engineering team. This video will demonstrate how to schedule disk defragmentation on Avaya Aura Contact Center Windows servers. Disk defragmentation should be scheduled to execute periodically for the C and D drives on AACC Windows servers. Doing this will optimize disk performance and avoid potential outages or problems caused by slow disk performance. Scheduling defragmentation only takes a few minutes to perform on each Windows server. Also, the procedure is not service affecting, so it can be performed while the server is up and running. The defragmentation will execute at the next scheduled date and time. Avaya recommends scheduling defragmentation to run weekly, but you can schedule it to run more or less often if needed. The defragmentation should be scheduled to run at an off-peak day and time to minimize the performance impact on the system. The defragmentation does not require the AACC application to be stopped, but it does take system resources to execute. If needed, you can modify the defragmentation schedule to change the day or time it will run. The procedure to schedule disk defragmentation can also be found in the AACC commissioning or deployment guides located on support.avaya.com. Now I will demonstrate how to initially schedule disk defragmentation and how to modify an existing schedule. I am logged into a lab AACC Windows server. To initially set the defragmentation schedule, click on the Start button in the lower left corner. Then click on Computer. The computer window will display. Now right-click on the C drive under Computer on the left side of the window. Then go down and select Properties. The Properties window will display. Now click on the Tools tab. Under the Defragmentation section, click on the Defragment Now button. The Disk Defragmenter window will display. The screen will also display a message whether scheduled defragmentation is on or off. It will be off by default when Windows is installed. On this server, scheduled defragmentation is turned off, so you need to click the Turn On Schedule button. If the defragmentation schedule was turned on, the message displayed would indicate so, and the button label would instead be Configure Schedule. I will show this later when I demo how to modify the defragmentation schedule. Now I will turn on the schedule. The Modify Schedule window will display. Click the checkbox next to Run on a Schedule. This will allow the other fields to be updated. Click the drop-down arrow for frequency and select Weekly if necessary. The other choices are daily or monthly. Now click the drop-down arrow for the day. Select the day of the week that you want defragmentation to run. This should be an off-peak day for your contact center. I will select Sunday. Do the same thing to select a time of the day. I will select 5 a.m. Then click on the Select Disks button. Click on the check boxes next to the C and D drives so that a check shows up. You don't need to select any other drives, only C and D. Now click the OK button to return to the Modify Schedule window. Click OK again to make the changes. Under Schedule, it will now display that the scheduled defragmentation is on and the scheduled details. This server will run defragmentation every Sunday at 5 a.m. The next scheduled runtime is June 3, 2012 at 5 a.m. Also notice that the button label changed to Configure Schedule. Click the Close button or the X in the upper right of the window to exit this window. Now click OK on the Properties window. Then you can close the computer window. Next, I will demo how to modify the defragmentation schedule. The initial steps are the same as when I turned the schedule on. First, click on Start, then Computer. Now right-click on the C drive and select Properties. Again, select the Tools tab in the Properties window. And click on the Defragment Now button. The window shows that scheduled defragmentation is turned on. Click on the Configure Schedule button to modify when defragmentation will run. Leave the check mark next to Run on a Schedule. If you remove this check, the scheduled defragmentation will be turned off. Select the drop-down arrows next to Frequency, Day, or Time to make the scheduling changes. I will leave the frequency as weekly, but I will change the day to Wednesday and the time to 1 a.m. I will click the Select Disks button to verify that defragmentation will run for both the C and D drives. If necessary, enable defragmentation for the C and D drives by clicking on the empty box next to those drives so a check mark will appear. Then you would click on OK. In this system, since both drives are selected, I will click the Cancel button. Now click on OK to make the schedule changes. The new schedule details are displayed in the window. Now this server will run defragmentation every Wednesday at 1 a.m. instead of every Sunday at 5 a.m. Now I will close the Disk Defragmenter window. Again, I will click OK in the Properties window, and then close the Computer window. This concludes the demonstration on how to initially turn on scheduled disk defragmentation and then modify the scheduled configuration. Thank you for your time today. We welcome comments, questions, and feedback at mentor@avaya.com or on Twitter @AvayaMentor. For more details or related information, please visit support.avaya.com. Thank you for choosing Avaya.